was 1993. So these little tidbits, little bits here, a quote there, a comment from this scientist there, it all begins to add up. Okay. Now we get to another aerospace scientist, an engineer, by the name of Benrich. Now Benrich was the director of the Skunk Works for Lockheed Martin for about 30 years. Lockheed Martin is one of the aerospace companies that is way the hell ahead of mainstream establishment science. Benrich said before he died in 1995, he said, most of what you have seen on Star Trek is actually quite commonplace. Classified aerospace science is at least 100 years beyond establishment mainstream science. And then he jokingly said, we can now take E.T. home. Now this was about the time the movie, all of you remember the movie. That little dude run wobbling around there. He wanted to go home. Benrich says, we can now take E.T. home. He said, if you've seen it on Star Trek, we have it. We can do it. He went on to say, I wish I could tell you about the projects we are currently working on. They are both fascinating and fantastic. They call for technologies once only dreamed of by science fiction writers. Let's put it this way. If we have things flying in the Nevada desert that would make George Lucas drool. Now you remember George Lucas was one of the primary directors of Star Wars. Now Ben went on to further say, before he died, we already have the means to travel among the stars. But these technologies are so locked up in black programs that it would take an act of God to even get them out to benefit humanity. Now guys, that's the state of the situation. That's the mess we find ourselves in. We got a government. Thank you, honey. We have a shadow government. We are members of a trust. We have good friends in high places that are moving in our midst. And I jokingly say, and it's not a pun, we have good friends in high places. Now, not all of them out there like us very much. Because, guys, en masse, we're not very likable. We are a primitive, savage, and dangerous goddamn bunch of animals. We still go to war, and we butcher and kill each other by the thousands and the millions. It's no wonder we're under quarantine. Damn it, we ought to be under quarantine. We are not ready to go out there. And they're damn well making sure that we don't get out there in mass where we can mess things up and cause trouble. But we are being allowed to make little baby steps. We are making little tiny steps out there. Our technology that Benrich talked about, the accomplishments that David Vroning talked about that we've had for over 30 years. We have technology, but it's not being released to the masses of people. It's not being released for your benefit. And whenever it will be released, I have no idea. I know this, that we're being monitored by intelligent, advanced, thinking creatures that are watching us carefully and not letting us screw up the mess completely. But, as I said, I will not live to see it. Many of you will. And when it all begins to come out, and remember that this old coot standing on the stage this afternoon in Southern California reminded you of who you are, and what you're capable of.